Now, the winds roaring down City Creek Canyon this morning blew dozens of trees at the Utah State Capitol and in the neighborhoods surrounding that area as well. The damage there is incredible, very similar to what we've seen here at Liberty Park. As news specialist Jed Volz shows us, there might be nearly as much damage to the Capitol and the surrounding areas as it was back 21 years ago, if you remember the tornado of '99.
Yeah, exactly, Mike. You know, that tornado back in 1999 uprooted a lot of trees up here at the Capitol. This morning, those fierce winds damaged about a dozen trees. Take a look at that tree. There are 3 trees in a row here that have very similar damage. Look at what it did to the root ball here. It ripped the rocks, the roots, and all of the dirt right out of the earth. And this is what we're seeing all around the Capitol.
This is very similar damage to what I remember from that tornado.
Mike Hussey has lived in this neighborhood a couple of decades.
See that crater? I was just inspired.
His family and others see these Capitol grounds as their neighborhood park.
It's just unfortunate. We've been here in the neighborhood for 25 years, and again, this has become a great part of the community, and to see this with the trees is really, really heart-wrenching.
Cleanup crews got to work quickly, while others checked out the spectacle.
5 a.m. it really hit, and we kept hearing some thumps on the roof.
North of the Capitol, fierce winds dropped trees in the road and up against homes. Laura Miller says her home was creaking and moaning as the winds whipped around.
Heard a huge crack, and then kind of just a crash. And it wasn't at our house because nothing shook.
They ran to the front window and saw that a huge tree had fallen as the winds continued to batter her home.
So that's what I mostly was scared of. My house was just kind of moaning and creaking.
The winds kept up and dropped a couple of their neighbors' trees against her home.
She called and said, sorry, just so you know, our trees came down on your roof. And we had heard a huge thump, and I knew something landed on my roof.
A couple of blocks away, Dan Molding had just come back inside after inspecting 3 trees that fell in his backyard and luckily missed his home.
As we were watching out the front, we could see this one here was just swaying back and forth, and then we watched as it slowly came down. It
landed in the street.
It was a little bit unnerving for you know, a good 30 minutes there.
About an hour ago, the air up here was pretty still. Now the wind is picking up again. As you can see, there's quite a breeze. So I don't think that anybody in that neighborhood is ready to let their guard down tonight. Mike?
All right, Jed, thank you. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of very similar things. The different sizes of trees that had all been uprooted. This one right here behind me, this one just snapped in half. And so it's interesting how it all starts kind of looking the same. But again, it testifies of just how strong the winds are and the amount of damage that we have seen here in these parks and anyway where there's open areas with all these trees.